Welcome to the full playthrough of Holdout. This is the board game version, not the print and play version. This version can be purchased through thegamecrafter.com if you're interested in doing that. All right, so we have our setup here, basic, but there's a few more things we need to do. Here we have our encounter cards and our scenario cards and the event cards. We're going to be moving these out of the way in just a minute. We have all of our cubes placed here on the mishaps track, as well as all of our resources. Notice that we're placing resources on the little white circles. Okay, and then we have our round track marker over here on round one. We have our phase marker right over here on dawn. This token here I have set aside that will be used on certain event cards. Over here off to the side I've placed these, but we have our these tokens here, the encounter cubes. Those will be placed on the encounter cards as we go along. These right here are our structure tokens that we'll be placing on structures as we build them in order to generate resources. And then we have our dice here that we'll be using throughout the game. All right, let's start by drawing a scenario card. I've actually stacked the deck here. This top one, you can draw randomly or you can choose. We're going to choose this one because it's a good starting scenario, the balanced settlement. Keeping things in balance is very important. All resources are necessary for survival, and your goal is to create a settlement that will meet the needs of all your people. So by the end of the game, we need to have a water and food level of at least 4 here in this range. Then, and same here. We also need to have at least level 6 or more of each of these other 4 resources. Okay, here we have our shelter and our community, ingenuity, and defense. So we're trying to build resources sort of evenly throughout our settlement here in order to win. That's why it's called balanced. There is no special rule for this one. Some of the scenarios do have special rules that you have to keep in mind throughout the game. So that's for your first game. So that's why we're doing it. And then, so we're going to place the scenario deck over here because we won't need it anymore. And I'll set it aside up here for now. We may need to move it to make space later, but I'll try to leave it there so you can kind of have a memory of what we're trying to get. All right, our encounter deck is here. I may go ahead, I'll leave it here for now, but if we need more space, I may move it out of the way. All right, I'm going to set it over here for right now. And let's go ahead and see. We have to, we need to draw 3 encounter cards and place them out here. This is sort of the offering, I guess you can say, of what's available. You'll be hiring, I guess you could say. It's not exactly hiring, but it's acquiring these encounters along the way of these different folks that will join your community. And in order to recruit them, you have to spend dice. So you can see these dice here. So as we're playing, you will spend a die from your pool in order to activate that. Okay, that's how that's going to work. And once you have an encounter cube on all 4, not sure if you can see that. I'm picking the one that's out of the camera, aren't I? Let's use this one. Once you have all resource cubes on a card, you will unlock it, and that card will be now part of your community and can lend their abilities to you. And that's when we'll place these on this side once we recruit them. Okay? All right. So those are our encounters that are available at the start of the game. And then as we move along, as we recruit them, we will draw new ones out. All right, our shelter begins here at level 1. So therefore, we're able to choose one of the buildings to put out, one of the structures. Okay, you get 1 structure per level throughout the game. So we have it 1, we get to start with 1. It doesn't matter here. It's a good idea to maybe check our scenario and see what we need or what we think we might struggle to get. In this case, we're not starting out with anything in particular. Let's just say, let's say defense. Let's start with some defense. So I'm going to build the training grounds. So see how it says plus defense there? And I'm going to place my structure token right there. That reminds us that we are going to be getting that every round. All right. Next, we're going to place the phase token on the Dawn space and the round token on the one space of the round track, which we've already done. And then we begin the game. All right, so to play a round, first you just start right here. Round one, here. Notice the raid 3. We'll talk about that later at the end of the round. So first thing we do is we generate resources. So we're going to look around and we're going to see what we get to generate. Now, if you'll notice, some of these cards also generate. So as we recruit them, that will help us out. But here we're going to generate 1 defense. So we're going to bump our defense up 1 point, just like that. Notice that still means we're at level 1 defense, though. We won't get to level 2 until we're able to get a couple more defense points. So that helps us there. Next thing we do, very simple here in the beginning of the game. Next, we're going to draw an event card. So we'll draw one of these event cards. Let's see what we get. Event, Pack of Wolves. Though they are beautiful, fierce, and deadly, you realize that these beasts are simply hungry. Food is a small price for a group of loyal friends. You may choose to perform the following once during phases 1 to 5. And these things we'll get to choose are, we could immediately lose any amount of food to gain the same amount of community. Then we can reduce the community mishap by 1. And we can use this anytime during, I'm just going to place it here to remind us that we can use it at any time. We don't have to. All right. So let's get started. Next, morning. What do we do on a round? Well, first thing we do is we roll. Well, how many dice do we roll? We roll a number of resource dice plus 2 equal to our level plus 2, I should say. So our level is 2, plus 2 would be 4 that we get to start out with. So we're going to roll these dice here. Let's see what, I'm going to try to roll it in the camera so you can see. All right, so we have 1, 2, and 2 3s. I like to just, this is just my thing. You can do what you want, but I like to put them in order so I can see what I've got. All right, so 1, 2, 3, and 3. Now you'll notice that each die corresponds to various things. It typically will correspond to one of these resources, as you can see the matching resources. They also can correspond to putting resource cubes on certain cards. The trader wants water and shelter and community and defense, and they'll give you food in return. Okay, so that's kind of how that works. So you're able to, now, obviously I can't use all these right now to do that, because the first thing I have to do after I roll is actually a mishap. So I have to pick one of these dice that's going to trigger a mishap at the end of the round. So I know it's coming, but, well, it's going to move your mishap marker immediately, but mishaps don't happen until the end of the round. Which one do we want to do? Well, do we want a mishap? What can we afford to have a mishap on this early in the game? Well, nothing, but it's always a hard choice. I'm going to spend this 3 for shelter, set it aside, and I'm going to raise the shelter up 1 on the mishap. Now I have 3 dice I can use. So let's see, what do I want to use them for? I think I'm going to, all right, I have a level 2 community. For each community level I have to discard that many water and food. So that's going to be 2 water and 2 food at the end of the round. So I will need that, and I do have 1 water and 1 food. Maybe I'll just use the 1 for the water and the 2 for the food and make a very simple turn here. And 3, let's just be simple here this first round. 3 to raise my shelter up 1, especially since if this goes up anymore, I might get hit on shelter. So let's go ahead and get that up a little bit. All right, that's the end of morning. Next, we go to noon. Let's roll the dice again. Well, that was simple. Yes, in the beginning, it is quite simple. Not as much to manage. Okay, you can't see that probably. So we got a 1, a 4, a 5, and a 6. What shall we do? We need to pick our mishap first. Boy, those mishaps are annoying, aren't they? But yes, there's always something going on. Let's raise our mishap for... If you'll notice, the first mishap point you get doesn't actually cause any damage. It just sits there. So we can't afford to take 1 without actually getting hit. But it won't reset at the end of the round, so we'll have to deal with it later. But since we already just got water, let's just take the hit on water for now, and let's go up on a mishap on our water supply. So now we have a 4, a 5, and a 6. I tell you, I want to be able to fight off raiders, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and get a defense up. Is there a particular strategy here? Well, there are many strategies, and there's not one strategy you're going to want to use all the time. So right now, I'm going to try to get 2 dice, level 2 on my defense, so that we can roll at least 2 dice against the raiders at the end of the round. Let's see here. That's just what I'm feeling right now. We have a 5 for ingenuity. We haven't raised our ingenuity yet. Well, what good is ingenuity? It allows us to do all kinds of things like re-roll dice. That's really nice. Really nice feature. All right. Or even set dice to whatever we want, if you get it up high enough. And remember, we have to get all these resource tables up by the end of the game, so they're all important. All right, we've got our 4 left over. Have we raised community yet? No, we have not. What about over here? Do we want to deal with these? Well, something to keep in mind is when we unlock one of these and recruit one of these encounter cards, they're going to immediately give us 6 of one type of resource. Something to understand is at the end of the round, if you don't have a well and we have higher than level 2 water, we're going to lose an amount of water. We can't store water above level 2 if we don't have a well. Same here. If we don't have a greenhouse, we can't store food above level 2. So if we get the food now, it might be a little too early. We'll get too much food. Nah, because we'll probably need it there, so it'd be okay. But do we need to unlock any of these yet? It's all a strategy. Honestly, I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm just going to I'm going to raise my community 1 level and go to the next round. All right, let's see what we get. We have food, water, and community and defense. We have to suffer a mishap. Well, we haven't suffered one on community yet. Let's do community. Boom. Maybe somebody's going to get mildly ill or something. Hopefully it won't go any higher. So let's see here. 1, 2, and 6. We have to have our ingenuity and defense levels the same. If our defense level's higher than our ingenuity level at the end of a round, we lose defense down to be equal with the ingenuity. So we have to kind of raise these. This has to be raised before this can really be raised. So we don't want to get this any higher or too much higher, but we don't have any 5s. If only we could convert dice to another type. Actually, you can. At any time during the round, you can set aside 1 resource die as activated and then change another one to anything you want. So if I really wanted a 5, I could discard one of these dice, like this one, and change this to a 5. So that's nice, but that also means I lose that die. So you don't want to do that unless you really need it, because food is very important too. Let's use this 6 to put a resource cube on 6, right? You know what? I am going to put it on the trader. Let's put it on the trader. I don't know. Why not? Actually, it's the only 6 we have available. These 2 cards don't have 6. So we'll put it on the trader. That way you can see how that works. Now we have food and water. Let's go with food. I'm sorry, that's water, isn't it? 1 is water. Let's raise a water. And 2 is food. We'll raise that up 1 level. Now we're on to dusk. Let's roll our dice again. We get a 1, so we have water, food, and shelter. We got a lot of water and food. That's actually good. But right now, at the end of the round, we need 1 water and 1 food for each level of community. So right now, we have exactly what we need to feed and water our community. So these are going to go to 0 if they're not any higher than that. So we won't suffer penalties, but we'll be down to 0. So there's no harm in getting more. 3, shelter. Now, if we raise our shelter higher to level 2, we'll unlock a new building. That is really nice. So let's, oh wait, we got to do our mishap first, don't we? Have we done food? No, we have not. Let's do a food mishap because we haven't done one of those yet. Let's do shelter. Shall we raise water? You know what? We have enough water and food, so we're not going to die yet. So let's just throw that 1 on the trader. Let's go ahead and unlock that level of the trader. Now we've got 2. let's raise our food one more level. All right, and the final phase, or final phase of the round here. Oops. All right, 6, 6, 4, 4. All right, we've got lots of defense. But raising our defense is not going to help us. We're just going to lose it before we get to use it. Because we weren't able to get this up any higher. I mean, let's go ahead and take a hit on this. And if I take those 2 4s, take it to 3, we won't have enough water to water our community. So I might just be patient on the people. I'd love to have an extra die next round, but let's... There's no way that's going to work, because we can do this and change 1, but then we won't have to. As a matter of fact, we could just go ahead and do that. What if we take one of these 4s to change this one to a 5? So now we actually are using this as a 5. We lost the 4, but it is what it is. We didn't need another 4. It was going to wash out. So there we go. We do that. Raise our ingenuity. And I guess we'll go ahead and just raise our community one more level here. It's still level 2. All right. Now we go on to the night phase. Suffer mishaps. So we're going to suffer mishaps. We have to have at least level 2 on the mishap in order to take damage. See, the little -1 doesn't happen until we get to 2. On 1, it just sits there until later. So it will eventually get there. We were able to keep all of our mishaps below the -1 penalty trigger, so that's good. So we lose nothing. That's a good thing. You will see that happen next round more than likely. Consume water and... Oh, you know what we didn't do? We did not do this at all. We could have lost any amount of food, but I didn't really want to gain any more community this early in the game because I wouldn't have been able to feed them, especially if I threw away all my food. So this card came at maybe just a bad time for me right now. I don't care to use it. So it just kind of, sometimes it can be really great. If you have tons of food and you really need more community, you can make that swap out. But in this case, it wasn't that useful at this moment. All right, so next, we suffered mishaps, or nothing. We didn't suffer. Now, consume water and food. We have a level 2 community, so we're going to lose 2 water. Actually, we still have 1 water left, and 1, 2 food. We have to... Oh, so we actually almost have what we need for next round, unless we raise our... Yeah, so doing good. All right. Well, we'll probably raise our community up next round. Next, we have check supplies. So check supplies, we're going to go through from left to right and make sure everything's looking good. So for the water, we have to make sure we have not exceeded our capacity to store. We don't have a well yet, but we haven't gone past level 2, so we're fine here. Same here. We don't have a greenhouse, but we haven't gone past level 2 in food, so we don't lose anything. For shelter, we have a level 1 shelter, so that means we maintain our 1 building we have. If we'd raised it to level 2, we could have added another building. Conversely, if we'd lost, like if we'd gone down to 0, or if we had more and we'd gone down, we could actually lose buildings. So we want to make sure that we keep our shelter up where it needs to be. Number of resource dice. We're going to have 2 plus 2 for next round. So we're going to keep our 4 dice for next round. We'll need to leave that area free. All right, so we have 4 dice for next round. Then we have an ingenuity of level 1. For ingenuity, during this check supplies phase, all we really do is make sure that our defense is not higher than our ingenuity. Otherwise, we'll lose defense. That's what the little yellow circle is for. So these have to be the same, or this has to be the same or lower than the ingenuity, and they are the same, so we're good. Check supplies is successful. Raiders attack. So for the Raiders attack phase, here's what we do. We look at our raid level of 3. So we're going to take 3 dice over here. Roll them. 1, 2, and 6. Now we need to roll 1 more die, and this die is going to determine where the starting point of the Raiders is. So 2. The Raiders are going to start at the greenhouse. All right. So we start with our lowest numbered die, which is a 1, and we place it at the greenhouse. And then you see the arrows here. We're going to go clockwise, and we're going to place the next higher die on the ruins, and then we're going to place the next higher die here at the well. So they are going to hit our food resources, our shelter resources, and our water resources, unless we take them out first. Now, how do we take them out? Well, we get to roll a number of defense dice equal to our defense level. Unfortunately, we only have one die that we can roll. So let's see what we get on our defense die. We get a 3. Actually, it could be way worse. Well, what do we do now? We can take out or defeat a number of Raider dice equal to or less than this number. So this is a 3, and these are cumulative, so we can add them up. Okay, so like 3 or 2 plus 1 is 3. So these 2 dice, this die equals the same as these 2 dice. So this defense die was able to take out both of these. However, it's not enough to take that one out. So that one stays. Now, the good thing is sometimes you have to make a choice, and you might decide to take out a higher one rather than combine all the lower ones, because some of the higher ones may actually be hitting resources you really need and can't afford to lose. So it does take some strategy there. All right, so we took out those 2, but this Raider is going to deal damage. So he hits the well, and we'll take him off the board, and we're going to lose 1 water because of that. Now, what would have happened if we had no water to lose when he hit the well? Well, if the Raider hits the well with no water, we would have had to add 1 mishap. Not good, okay? So you really don't want those Raiders piling up. And the bad news is next round, we're going to have 4 Raider dice on the board, and they just keep increasing. In the final round, we'll have 8 dice to contend with. So we're going to want to make sure we have some defense. Okay, the good news is the balanced settlement scenario is reasonable enough in difficulty that you can clearly see what you're doing, and if you don't win the first time, you know, it's not horribly difficult, I think, but some of those scenarios do get quite challenging. All right, so that's the end. Now we're going to advance the round token. Boom. And we've got round 2 with a raid of 4 at the end of the round, right? And we're going to reset this round phase marker back to dawn, and we do it all over again. So here we go. Notice the encounter cubes stay on the trader there, so we can kind of slowly recruit that one. You can only recruit 1 per round, so you can't just dump everything on these folks. You can place cubes, any number of cubes on the cards, even the maximum number. You just can't actually claim more than 1 card per round. All right, so we didn't claim any last round, so it's no big deal. This round, maybe we can grab that trader. We'll see what happens. All right, so we start at the beginning. We're going to generate resources. We're generating 1 defense. Boink, just like that. All right, so we have built up our defenses a little bit, and that will give us 2 dice unless we lose some. All right, so here we go. Next, we're going to draw an event card. So our event card this round is Magnificent Workshop. You can convert this area into a workshop to increase productivity. You may choose to perform the following once during phases 1 to 5. So this is similar to this card, only this time we can lose any amount of shelter to gain the same amount of ingenuity. That might actually be a little more tempting this round, depending. Kind of depends on what resources we get, right? If we get a lot of shelter and no ingenuity, that could be really handy. We'll see. We'll see if we need it or not. This is kind of let's make that the discard pile. There we go. All right. All right, so here we go. We get 4 dice, don't we? And we're going to start in the morning. I'll try to roll up here. All right, so 2, 2, 3, and 4. Food, shelter, and community. Let's go with, well, we got to do our mishap. Let's get hit on, they're all bad. They're all going to trigger. I'm going to do food. Now, we can get food. Let's use this 3, the shelter one, and pop it on the trader. I don't know. I'm not putting a tremendous amount of thought into this at the moment. because you don't want to wait for that. 2 and 4, let's see. Let's go ahead and increase our community up to level 3. And let's hope that I'll be able to feed and water them. 2, we definitely need food. So let's just go ahead and get it. All right, next phase. Sometimes it's best not to overthink it too much. All right, so 2, 3, 5. Okay, there's our ingenuity that we were needing. That's not good because I don't need food. I'd rather have the shelter and the ingenuity, but I don't want to get another food mishap. That's going to make us lose 2 food. Well, you know, we haven't had a mishap on the ingenuity yet, as much as I'd love to have more mishap. I mean, more ingenuity. Let's just go ahead and take the 1 there, and then we'll go ahead and spend the 5 to gain an ingenuity. Now, once we take it to this level, we are immediately at level 2. I know at the end of the round we have to check our supplies and everything, but you immediately get this effect. So we can now start re-rolling 1 die every round. So if we get something we don't like, we can re-roll. We have to keep it though. It's different with the community though. You don't get more dice the moment we don't immediately get the additional die. We determine that at the end of each round. So that's a little different. And the rules for the check supplies are in the rule book. Play a few times and it's pretty easy. All right, so there we go. We can immediately start re-rolling. We've got even now if we wanted. But do we need to re-roll? I don't know. I might re-roll well, we need the food. We need 3 food, so I won't. And we need, just take the 2 and the 3. And let's get the shelter and the food. All right, next round. Oh, but we have that traitor. Well, let's see if we roll a 5. Okay, we keep rolling. Oops, that was a 2. You saw it. All right, 1, 2, 2, and 3. We keep rolling food. I think we can afford to pass up because we've got that traitor that'll help us too. We definitely need water. Okay, against my better judgment, I'm going to raise this food up even higher on the mishap and just hope we're okay. We definitely need more shelter. I just want to get that up. Or do we just want to unlock the traitor? Well, there's a good chance we'll roll a 5. Let's just take what we get and let's just hope we roll a 5 soon here. Oh, wait, we have a reroll, don't we? Hang on. Let's go ahead and take the 1. Let's leave the 2. Let's use our reroll that we have. Maybe we'll get really lucky, roll a 5, because we just don't need the food right now. Oh, no, okay. Oh, well. It was worth it. Worth a try. All right, next round. Let's roll our 4 dice. 1, 1, 3, and 4. Well, we got water. We still don't have ingenuity. We have the option to discard a die to change it to whatever we want, but that's expensive. And we can re-roll. We're not going to get hit on that unless 3 is a shelter, 1 is water. I don't want to get hit on water. This is a difficult decision. You know what? Let's just do this. It won't be the end of the world if it happens. If we lose, go back to 2, I guess. But all right, so we have a 3, a 1, and a 1. Let's take the 2 1s because we definitely need at least 3 water to feed our community. We don't need that much shelter at the... You know what? Let's take the shelter. I forgot we have this card sitting here, and I can show you this next round. Maybe we'll try that next round using building the Magnificent Workshop. All right, so we have 1, 1, 1, and 5. Wow, lots of water. All right, you know what? Let's just get hit on the water now that we have so much of it. Let's go ahead and build the ingenuity, or increase ingenuity to water. Yeah, I was about to get that trader, but I realized we haven't built the greenhouse yet. We can at the end of this round. So maybe we'll wait one more round before we grab the trader, just to make sure we don't lose food needlessly, because that trader would give us food all the way up to here. And so we're going to lose a little bit, I have a feeling. Well, we also lose it there. Well, let's not overthink it. Let's just do 2 water. Did I already move that? I just moved it, didn't I? One, 2. Okay. And now we are going to do Magnificent Workshop. Immediately, I think I didn't move that. That's what I was thinking about, is I don't think I moved that yet, did I? Good reason not to move it till you take the dice off. Well, if I mess up, you'll know, and it'll all be crazy. All right, so here we go. Immediately lose any amount of shelter, and we can gain some. Let's do that. I'm going to lose, we're not going to lose any shelter due to mishaps. I'm going to lose 2 shelter. We'll still get 2, so we'll still get our new building, and that'll allow me to raise our ingenuity up to level 3. All right, and then we can do some re-rolls if we get bad rolls during the raider, because you can re-roll raider dice too. All right, so here we go. So we did that, so I'm going to discard it because we used it. All right, and that's the end. Let's go to the night phase. Suffer our mishaps. Let's see. So we have 1 water, so it's going to be -1 on the water. So we lose 1 of those. For food, we've got -2. 0 is where that's supposed to be. So -2 on the food. For this one, doesn't move. This one, we lose 1 citizen, so we're back down to 2. Oh, well. Can't have everything. And then those don't move. And then we get to consume our water and food. We get to, it's our privilege. So we're going to feed and water these 2. So that's going to be 1, 2, and 1, 2. All right. It's the only good thing about not having a lot of people is you don't have to use so much food and water. Okay, next we have shelter. We gained a building, so let's just build, because we know we're going to need it to hold more food for the. Let's just go ahead and build the. Although that might be, is that a smart thing to do? Actually, it is, because we have to have at least level 4, don't we, to win? So we're gonna have a greenhouse to win the game. Let's just go ahead and build it now. I know we'll be now producing tons of food, but well, that'll free our 2s up for other things, maybe, to some degree. All right, so we built the greenhouse. Now we have citizens. We've got 4 dice again for next round. Oh, well. And then, better than 3. And then the ingenuity is good, and our defense is good as far as the 2. So we're going to get 2 dice to roll for defense this round. All right, moving on. We have Raiders attack. So we have 4 raiders coming at us this round. How do we know this? Because raid 4, right? All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to roll them over here, and then I'll roll our starting dice so you can see. 3. 3 is our starting point. Here are our dice. So let's go with 2 on 3. 2 there. Oops, that was a 3. 3 there, and 3 there. Okay. Now we have to roll to defeat them. So let's roll our 2 defense dice. Okay, we could have rolled a lot better. These rolls are pretty good. These rolls are bad. We can roll up to 2 dice per round. Well, we can roll up to 2 dice per phase. Okay? So we can roll 2 dice each single one of these phases, including the night phase, which is now. So these re-rolls are really nice. You can use them a lot. So let's go ahead and re-roll. Shall we re-roll both? I mean, what are the chances, right? I mean, the chances of getting something better than 2 are pretty high. Let's just do that one first. We don't have to roll them both together. Let's roll the 2 and see what we get. We got a 4. That's a lot better. I'm going to keep it. Let's just re-roll the 3. Let's hope we don't get a 1. Okay, we got another 4. So we did better. A little bit better. So we can knock out up to 8 worth. So that would be the 2 3s and one of these 2 2s, right? 3 and 3 is 6 plus 2 is 8. So let's just go ahead and take these 2 out, as many as possible, right? And now, which one of those 2s should we take? Do we want to lose shelter? Now, we've already gained the new building, so if we lose shelter, we won't immediately lose a building. We'll have next round to try to get us back up to 2. Or we can lose 1 water. Which is better? I don't know. Those mishaps are both down. It doesn't really matter. I guess we'll lose the water. I'll protect the shelter and we'll just lose the water. So 1 down, 1 water there. And that's the end of the round. We'll advance the round token. We go back up to Dawn. Here we go again. We have to generate our resources. So we've got defense and food. So defense goes up 1. Food goes up 1. And we're going to draw an event card. Event card says, giant crops. The crops are growing fast and huge. Collect them quickly or they will explode. This will require the effort of the entire community. At dawn, which is now, we're going to increase our defense mishaps up to 4, to the maximum. So, well, we can only go up to 3, and that's it. Notice it stops there. So, all right, next. Oh, I need to mention, if you ever have to spend a mishap and you're already at the max, you have to lose from here if possible, okay? But when you get these cards, that rule doesn't apply. You don't just have to take 4 and then lose some. It doesn't work that way with the cards. That's a little bit too rough. All right, now here we go. We also get immediately 2 food. So we're like eating like kings and queens here. All right, all right. During each phase, you may change any 2 result to a 4, but not vice versa. So we can change food into community anytime during that because we have giant crops, so we can feed a lot of people now because of our giant crops. The only problem is they're exploding, so yeah, it's causing issues. We have to take care of that. They're a threat to the community as well. They're very deadly plants. All right. So notice this has a little track on it. So we're going to be using this cube here to track our progress as we go along here. So every time we collect 1 of these community, this track will go up. If once we get to 5, we have completed the card and we'll lose all of the mishaps. And we're going to gain some community. So this gives us like a little side mission we have to do during this round. If we don't achieve it, we're going to get hit pretty hard on our defense and lose defense. And we don't want that at all, especially not right before having to fight 5 raiders. So I think this is going to be something we need to focus on where we can. All right, so here we go. Round 1, morning. Let's roll our 4 dice. 4 still, yeah. Okay, a bunch of food. Wow, okay. Well, here's where we can start using our rerolls because I don't think we need that many. I'm just going to go ahead and use our rerolls for this round or for this phase and just see what we get. All right, a little better. Still got 2s. Okay, doing well on food. So it makes me hesitate to get the trader now. We still need food. All right, so you know what? Since we've got so much, let's just take that as a mishap. And all right, well, the good news is we can collect 2 community here. That's going to allow us to go up 2 points on the card over here. So we're already, oh wait, we're supposed to collect 5. I started us on 1, didn't I? That was a mistake. So 1 and 2, we've collected 2. We need to get 3 more. All right, and then we have this food here. I can throw it on the Lone Wanderer. Why don't I do that? Let's throw that on this Lone Wanderer. He's the defense guy. I kind of want him. There's also the rad victims who give us community, but yeah. All right, next round, or next phase, I should say. Here we go, let's roll. We get 2, 3, 3, and 5. What are we gonna get hit on? You know what? Take another one on the food. Let's use this 5 here with the trader and complete it. We have now recruited the trader. I love this artwork. Claudia Jankowska has done a great job with this. All right, so We'll put the trader over here. And then to show that we have recruited the trader, we'll put it on, I'll just set it aside over in a different area. And then I'm going to place this structure token here on this area just to remind us that during the round phase, during dawn, we can generate a food from the trader. Okay. All right. So that's great. Now that we've recruited one, we can draw a new one. Let's see what we get. We get Francesca Aquaviva. She gives us water. All right, let's see. Let's see. What shall we do? What shall we do? Let's go. These 2 3s are going to give us 2 more shelter. Next phase. All right, we need to get community. We need community. Could unlock the rad victims, I suppose. That would definitely give us the community, but then we wouldn't be able to feed them. We'd lose them. But I suppose it's possible because look at our dice that we just rolled. Let's just do it. Up 1 there. 1, 2, and 3. Let's just throw it over here on the rad victims. I'm worried that we won't be able to unlock the giant crops. I want that to happen. So next round. All right, 1, 2, 4, and 4. 4 is community, which we really need. Oh, we might not have to. Looky there. We might not have to. I think we'll be okay. Let's do... We need water like crazy. Let's take it on the food. Let's grab a water. And then let's grab the 2 people. 1, 2. We're totally not going to be able to feed these people. I doubt it. or give them water at least. All right. Choices. We've had it easy so far. We can't complain. All right. And then the final round, or phase here. Okay. 3, 3, 3, and 5. We could unlock the rad victims. I think it's premature to unlock the rad victims. But we can't get them this round anyway, can we? Because we already claimed this one. So we can't claim it anyway, so that's fine. Let's use this 3. I know we're not re-rolling. I mean, we could. But I'd love to have another shelter. Let's re-roll this. We don't need 3 shelter. Are we going to lose any? No. So then, let's get something else. Well, we actually need that. We're going to lose an ingenuity. But it's okay with where we're at here. Let's just go ahead and lose the ingenuity. It's fine. And then we're going to gain water, which we desperately need. And then we're going to gain 2 shelter, which is going to give us another building. So that's great too. All right. But no, John, we're going to get blown up by giant crops. We can't do that. Take the structures back. Too many choices. Don't you hate when games give you choices that make it difficult to solve? Oh, wait, that's what makes a game fun, right? All right, so we're going to discard this one and make this a 4. I love that ability. It can really get you out of a pinch. It's just unfortunate that we lost our ability to get a new building, but it allowed us to get 1 more community member so that we could finish out this card. So now we're going to lose all of our mishaps. We don't lose any defense. And we're going to gain food, which is wonderful, but we don't have enough water. We might actually be okay. I'll show you why. All right, done with that round. We suffer mishaps. Nothing there. We're going to lose 1, 2 food. Ouch. We're still okay, though, because we have 4 food, and we need 4. Buildings, no, or structures. No to community. Yes, we lose 2 on ingenuity. That's painful. Good on defense. Okay, now we have to consume food and water. So we have 4 community members. 1, 2, and 3 water. We're missing 1 water. What do we do with the missing 1 water? Well, that person ditches. So we're down a person. Okay. Now we have food. 1, 2, 3, 4 food. 1, 2, 3, 4 food lost. That's exactly what we need. So we actually did well. I thought we were going to lose people, but we didn't. We still have all 4, which means we get 6 dice next round. That's huge. So that actually worked out for us okay. All right. So now we have to check our supplies. Not an issue with having too much at this point. Structures built. We still keep our 2, but we did get our trader. The people, we're going to have 6 dice next round. So we can take these and just kind of set them here to remember that. We have, this is not an issue. They're both same level. So, okay. And then we do Raiders attack. We have 5 Raiders this round. That's not good. I'm going to roll them over here. And then I'll roll our starting die. Starts at 5. Okay, so we're going to put the 1 on 5 at the scrapyard. And then we have a 2 that'll go there. A 2 that'll go there. A 3 that goes there. And a 4 that goes there. All right. Looks good. Yep. All right. Now, it looks bad, but we're about to defend ourselves. So we have 2 dice that we can defend ourselves with. And look at that. Doesn't get any better than that. Well, with 6s maybe, but we still have, I haven't been using our dice rolls much this round. We haven't really needed it that much. So I think I'm going to roll. Well, maybe we did, and you were thinking that, and I just didn't do it. I didn't take advantage of all my stuff. All right, so I'm going to re-roll this 4 and hope that I get something lower. Watch me get something higher. Oh, it's the same. All right. If I'd got something lower, then I would have rearranged dice up here. Still starting here, but I could have rearranged where they're positioned. That's what would have happened. All right, so everything stays the same. These are our defense dice. We have 10. And this is a total of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, there's a 2, so theoretically we should be able to get rid of exactly 10 worth, leaving 1 2 die, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, I'm just not going to think about it too much, and I'm just going to decide which 2 I want left over then. We actually didn't do too bad. Our Raiders have been kind this game so far. 4 and 6. Training grounds. Which one do we want to get hit on? Our defense or on our community? Community. Leave that one. Why community? Because won't we lose a die if we go down 1? No, because we don't calculate this. We only calculate that once per round, and that's during check supplies. So we've already calculated it. So that person lent their aid before they got hit, I guess. So we're still good. We don't lose any dice unless we don't get this higher than 3 at the end of next round. So that's the end of that round. We're going to go back to Dawn. We're going to move this on to round 4. All right. Here we go with round 4. So we're going to generate our resources. Defense, food, and food. Defense, and 2 food. Okay, we need to get our shelter up because our shelter's been low. But the good news is we haven't been hit too hard by the Raiders. But every game is different. It really is, and the way things go, and not just for randomness. You get a situation due to the cards or due to the dice, and then you have to figure out how you're going to manage it with what you have. And I enjoy that. All right, so here we go. We did our generation. Now we're going to draw our event card. This time we're getting a hailstorm. A rare and sudden downpour of large hailstones is damaging your structures. Repair them quickly. In the dawn phase, which is now, we're going to get 4 mishaps on shelter. Well, that's not great. And if we had been here, we would have just gotten 1. I mean, it's just up to the maximum is what that is. All right, so +2 water. That's good. I mean, the hailstorm gave us water. It just destroyed our building. All right, so during each phase, you may change any 1 results to a 5 result, but not vice versa. So we can convert any 1, and I think we had that before. Did we have that before? Yeah, and I never used it, did I? And I was rolling all that food, and you were probably at home screaming, change the food to... Yeah, you got to remember what you have in front of you, and I didn't do that. So here I can use this card. It's gonna be the same as last time, only this time we have to collect ingenuity, and we'll have ability to change our water into ingenuity. That would have made things a little easier, wouldn't it? Well, we still got what we needed. All right, here we go. I'm not good at playing my own games, as you can see. All right, so let's go on to, you all could probably do better than me. So I got 5 dice, right? So let's roll and see what we have. We have 4, 4, 4, 3, 1. I like to put them in order because it's just easier for me to see it. But that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's not required. Excuse me. Let's do... What do we want to do for our mishap? Definitely not shelter. What if, right? If we took a 3 for shelter and it's maxed, we'd have to just immediately lose it here. So that's not good. Not a good thing. Not something you want to do. How about, we need this one, right? And it's something we don't have. But we need water. I don't want to convert it yet. Lots of community. All right, let's get hit on our community. Then we get 1 reroll, don't we? Let's reroll one of these 4s and see what we get. Okay, we got a 1. We need, I'll tell you what, let's use, I'm just going to trust. I'm just going to trust that we'll get them later. It's kind of the same either way, isn't it? Just to make myself feel better, I'll use these 2 1s as 5s, according to this card. Plus, that makes me feel better since I forgot about that option last round, and so I'm going to do it now. All right, so that gives us boom, boom. All right, and then we have these left over. Wow, that's a big difference in dice, isn't it? We can do a lot more. 3, 5, and 6. We desperately need, well, definitely need to get that up because we've got 6 raiders to deal with this round. And we could roll 3 1s, and they could roll a bunch of 6s. That would be devastating. We'd lose a lot of stuff. Only because we wouldn't be able to defend against it. All right. These 2 dice, 3 and 4. Let's do, I'll take another building for sure. And then the 4 will allow us to just go ahead and get another community member because we want to keep our 6 dice, don't we? Next round. Oops. All right. 1, 2, okay. All right, there we go. I'm going to say we'll get hit on food for the mishap. Let's go ahead and get the defense. We don't need the rad victims right now, do we? Not yet. We need to have a 6, don't we? Okay, might save that for later. We should unlock one of them, though, because you only get 1 per round. Might not hurt. The water would be good. All right. We need water. I'm just going to use these 2 1s for water this time because we actually need that. Okay, we've got our 2. We need food. Believe it or not, we actually need food. The 5 will give us 1 more ingenuity, so that's good. I don't think I changed any dice there. 5, 2, 3. Okay. Which one are we ditching? What's the mishap? We need the ingenuity. That's going to finish it, isn't it? This is good. That'll finish this card out for us. We've got shelter, but we don't want to lose any because that's maxed out. Defense? We actually need 1 more food. So let's get hit on defense this round. Grab the 1 more food. We'll grab both of these ingenuities. And that finishes that card out. So we get to drop this back down to 0. And we get to gain 2 ingenuity. Nice. All right, we have 3 dice we can re-roll now. We've got 2 of these. Do we want that? Sure, I'll take it. I'm thinking about that Lone Wanderer. I'm going to re-roll these. The chances of getting a 1, 4, or a 5 are pretty high. Okay, we got the 1. We have a 2. We don't need the 2. But it is what it is. We get 3 dice to re-roll. That was 1, 2. So I could re-roll this one more time, couldn't I? Let's see what we get. 3 again. All right, that's fine. Shelter's always good. All right, next round, or next phase. Keep messing that up. 1, 1, 2, 2, 4, and 5. We don't need any more ingenuity, but if I unlock that guy... Actually, those 2 are what I need for the Lone Wanderer. Let's get hit on the water this time. Then we're going to use the 4 and the 5 for this 4 and 5 on the Lone Wanderer. I like this guy. I think his artwork is so cool. So cool. All right. She did exactly what I was hoping for there. All right. And then we're going to draw a new Alistair MacLeod. There you go. Alistair MacLeod. He is really, really good at tinkering with things and making them really awesome and turning, what does it say? He can make a machine gun out of a stapler. So yeah, he gives you ingenuity. All right, well, we've taken the Lone Wanderer. I forgot to put the little building on there, the structure token. So he's going to give us defense every round now. And we get 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it just does like that. So yeah, the only problem is we're going to lose 2 of those if we don't get this ingenuity up at least 1 more point. So we have to keep that in mind. We have a 1, 2, and a 2 left. So we'll just do that. Last phase, evening. Ugh. All right, 1, 6, 6. All right, we need, what did I say we needed? We need ingenuity, don't we? We don't need any more of these. So I'm going to use 2 of my rerolls of my 3 and reroll these. All right. Let's get hit on the structure. Then we're going to use the 5 to raise our ingenuity up 1. Now we won't lose any defense. 1, 2, 2, 4. 1, 2, 2, 4. We have to have at least... Oh, we need to build those buildings, don't we? Otherwise, we're not going to be able to... Oh, I need to get the shelter up. I realize we still need to build the well. Otherwise, there's no way we're going to get enough water. I mean, it doesn't have to happen until the end, but I don't know if we can wait that long. Well, we know we need water and food. And we're going to spend the food before we feed them, before we actually check supplies. So that's okay. I guess I get 1 more reroll, don't I? Let's roll this one. 5. Okay, I'll take it. We'll go up 1 more in ingenuity. Now, this one allows us to choose. Oh, yeah. Wait. I have to take that back. I just made a big mistake. I forgot that we had changed ingenuity levels. It's not rerolls anymore. Now, what about the rerolls I already did? I'm at a new level now. So I can reroll. Instead of rerolling, I can choose. So instead of rolling that 2, I could have chosen anything I wanted. So I'm just going to choose the 5. So the 5 allows me to go up 1, right? Actually, I'm going to choose a 3 That way we can get our shelter up a little bit. And then our 4. Okay. And that's the end of the round. I don't know if I'm overlooking something. I probably am. Suffer mishaps. Boom, boom, boom. As far as like, I forgot that we're going to get hit really badly and I didn't pay attention to it. That's what I mean. No, actually, we're good on mishaps. Okay, we need to consume our food and water. We have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're here. And then we're going to go down 4 here too. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're good there. But see, this is the hard part. It looks easy, but getting this is tough because the community, they just keep eating and they just keep drinking water. How dare they? We're never gonna achieve our goal when they just keep eating and drinking our water. But they kind of have to do that, don't they? So yeah, that's the struggle. So let's see here. We fed them, and now we get to check our supplies. We're good there and there on those items. We have 3, 1, 2. We get to build a 3rd structure. Let's go ahead and build a well. That way we can get our water up to where it needs to be. All right, and then people, we're going to have our 6 dice again next round. That's great. And then we have 5 ingenuity, which is the same as 5 defense. We get 5 defense dice this round. Yes, that's great news because we're about to get pummeled by 6 raiders. So let's see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'll roll them over here so I don't destroy our board. Okay, and then our starting zone is going to be 1. All right, so the lowest die is 1, and then the next highest, and then the next 2 are 3s. By the way, same numbers are considered consecutive, so you can, and then 4 and 5. There we go. There's 1 on every building. And then the roll that I made here, I'll put it up so you can see, and it could be better, right? Which is better, rolling 3 dice randomly or getting to choose 1? Sometimes I don't know. That's why they're back to back there. But in this case, I think I'd rather choose to make a 2, a 6. There, okay? So I used our ingenuity ability. So we're rocking now. We actually rolled all 3 of those. We rolled a ton of dice and we got some high numbers. That's really going to help us. Plus, look at all these low numbers. So I think maybe we'll see. It's not always as it seems. We have 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22. And what do we have here, mathematicians? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We can knock them all out. No problem, right? So we got a little lucky there. But it's not all luck because we actually had to fight to get the Lone Wanderer to raise our defense. Imagine if we hadn't gotten him. We would have been back down here. And we would have only rolled 3 dice. And the chances, and we definitely would not have gotten higher than what they had there. And we would have lost some more resources. And as this game, I tell you, I tell myself this every time I play, it feels easy at one point. It feels like, oh, yeah, we're doing right, we're doing great. And all of a sudden, you realize that you're not great. And you'd better solve your issues and you better fix your problems, otherwise you're not going to win. So it can creep up on you if you're not careful with, and the same as with any kind of resource management game like this. All right. And plus this is the basic scenario anyway. Some of these are very interesting. I'll show them to you at the end. All right. So now we're on to the new round, right? So boom, boom. We have 7 raiders coming after us this round. All right, let's knock it out. All right, round 5, here we go. We are going to roll, not yet. We're going to generate our resources. We have defense and food. Oh, we forgot about, we have 2 defense, 2 food, and a water. That's great. Easy, right? We don't even have to roll the dice this round. Oh, yeah. All right, here we go. Remember, we need to win the game. We have 2 more rounds, and then the game ends. We have to have at least 6, at least 6, at least 6, at least 6, at least 4, and at least 4. So, and remember, these people eat and drink, and 6 of them is going to drink 6 and 6. So, managing these folks, along with these folks, making sure you have enough buildings to generate and to unlock the things you need, and that it's all important. So, don't get cocky. Here we go. All right, we generated the resources right. We're going to draw an event card. Boom. Increased purification. You might be able to rig a makeshift improvement to the purification system by giving up some of your important tools. So, you may choose to perform the following once during phases 1 and 5. So, anytime during the basic game phases, we can immediately lose ingenuity in order to gain water. So, I don't know. That may come in handy. I mean, we have a lot of ingenuity right now. If we end up needing some water, we can just discard a few, I suppose. We'll see. I'm going to leave that here just to remember we have it. All right, here we go. I'll try to roll up here without destroying our buildings. All right, so we have 1, 1, 4, 4, 5, 6. Let's go. What's our mishap? Our mishap. What can we afford to lose? This. Yeah, getting the rad victims too early here is probably not a good idea. We could go after Francesca and try to get her to give us some water there. That would be very helpful, maybe. Maybe we should focus on that. You know what? I think I'm going to focus on trying to recruit her. That's what I moved. And instead, let's do... What can we afford to get hit on? People? Or ingenuity? People or ingenuity? She doesn't need ingenuity. So let's get hit on that. How about that? And that's not going to hurt us. Then I can use the 6 and the 4. One of the 6, 6 and the 4, and we'll knock out one of those 6s and the 4. And I'll worry about the other. Well, I can choose, can't I, each round? This 4. This 4. We had 2 4s, didn't we? We don't need this 4. Let's make it a 6. And use it to recruit Francesca. There's a 2 left, but it's okay. We'll just take these 2 water, and we have the well now built. So we can, I mean, there's enough of these structure tokens in most games that if you want to, because you don't want to keep looking at the board, you could do this if you wanted, just to remember. I'll do that for now. That's not in the rules or anything, but if you want to do that just to remember you have them, that's fine. We'll do that, especially for the purposes of this instructional video. You can kind of see. All right, so we have our well and our greenhouse built, right? So we can hold up to 4 levels worth in both. So we're good there. Next round. Oops, I never moved that. We're actually on noon now. So let's roll. Oops. 1, 1, 2, 5, 5, 6. What are we going to get rid of? What's the mishap? 6. That's what we're going to do last round anyway. All right, and then we're going to go ahead. Let's just go ahead and recruit Francesca with the 2. That gets her back into our employment here. We're out of space, aren't we? Maybe you can see if I move this up here. Maybe you can see Francesca. Barely. I'm going to put the token on her. You can't see it, but all right, we get 6 water, right? There we go. Wow. Well, that's going to help us generating water to win the game. So that's good. Now, I've played this game a few times as the designer, so I kind of have an idea of what I'm doing. You will need some exploration and experimentation, just like any other game, as you may not do as well as this your first time. You can also try different scenarios. Again, like this is one of the easier ones, but there's some others, and I'll show them to you in a bit. All right, so we got our 2. Now, we've got the 2 water here that we can use. But honestly, do we need that much water? It's going to take us past our maximum But is that a bad thing? No, especially when our people drink a lot. So water, maybe other things. All right, so 1, 2, and then these 2 5s. Let's take those and we'll put them up here. Okay. All right, next round. I mean, we need all this stuff to win. So let's see what we got going here. Okay, 2, 3, 3, 4, 6, 6. We need to increase our ingenuity, otherwise we're going to lose defense. We need to increase our shelter like crazy. We can always use them later to get people, right? Let's just do that. I might regret that, but it's okay. All right, let's change one of these. What did I say we needed? Shelter. I'm going to change it to another 3. So we're going to get a shelter, and then these 2 are also shelter. And then we've got a 6, which will give us some defense because we're about to lose 1. So this one we lose will allow us to still stay at 6. And then we've got this 2 because we're forgetting about food now. Next round. And that card allows us to convert ingenuity into water, right? I'm just going to put that over here because we got Francesco, we don't need that anymore. By the way, we never saw a new person. These are just fun to see. I want you to see the artwork. It's just so good. Constructabot. There he is. Good old Constructabot. He generates shelter for us. He's great. Sorry, I'm trying to roll without destroying our board. All right, here we go. Boom. 2, 3, 3, 5, 5, and 6. All right, let's do... we need food. We need shelter. We need people. We're already getting hit on defense. I don't want to do that again. Let's get hit on ingenuity for a mishap. We can pick one. I'm going to change this to a 4 using this ability so that we can get one more community member. Then we're going to get 2 3s here. Get a new building. We've got our 2. That'll give us food. We have our 6 here. I guess we'll just get another defense. All right. Evening. Try not to destroy the board. Oh, boy. Okay. Oh, that was a 5. Where did it go? There it is. All right. All right, you know what? We don't need that much water, so we can't afford to lose 1. That's all good. So we need, let's take the ingenuity. That'll give us 6. We can win with these 2 levels if they don't go down, but they probably will. 4 is going to allow this to go up 1 level. Yeah. Yep. That's fine. I think we can manage it. It's going to be a big drain on the food and water, but I think we can manage it. That'll give us an extra die next round. But we're going to lose that community member. Are we going to lose shelter? No. Let's change this shelter into a 4 so we can get 1 more person because we're going to take a mishap. And that'll keep us at the 5 level. Then we have 1 and 2. 1 water, 1 food. Suffer mishaps. Lose a water. Nothing. Lose a community member. Lose an ingenuity. Oh, no. That creeped up on me. We're going to lose defense now. All that defense I built up is going to be gone because we just got hit. All right. Oh, well, it is what it is. All right, that's mishaps. Consume water and food. We have 5 water. I'm sorry, 5 people, so we lose 5 water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 food. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You may wonder, why is these tracks smaller than these tracks? Because they probably don't need to be any higher than that because it's hard to get them up that high to manage because these folks need it to live. That's just the way it is. All right, and so do you. All right, and then we've managed that. We've fed the people. Now we have to check our supplies. All right, we're at level 3, but we have a well. Not an issue. Here we have 5, so we've actually gained 2 structures in the same round. So what shall we build? we need to keep building. Let's build structures. How about that? So we'll do the ruins. Another thing we need, should we do the bunkhouse or should we try to get more food? Let's try to get more food. We've had an issue with that apparently. Strangely enough, despite the beginning of the game. Notice we had to have the greenhouse built before we build the root cellar. It's just a thing. So we get them both there. All right. By the way, I didn't mention this, but there's little shields on here. See little shields. What these mean is when the raiders attack, if a raider attacks this area, they only do damage to the well, not the purification unit, which means they only do 1 damage of water and 1 damage of food. They won't do 2 food because there's 2 buildings, if that makes sense. These are protected, so you don't lose too much. All right, next, we did that. We built our building. We have people. We're going to gain an extra die, so we're at, believe it or not, we're at 7 dice now because it's 5 plus 2. And we have ingenuity here of 5. This is a problem because it's greater than our ingenuity level, so we're going to have to drop this down until it gets to the highest point of the 5 level. Too bad. Well, maybe we'll be okay. So far we've rolled well, but knock on wood, right? Raid 7, 2, 4, 6, 7. We have 7 raiders coming at us. I can't roll on the board. I'm going to roll over here. All right, they rolled some really high and some really low numbers, so maybe we'll be okay. We're rolling 5 dice. I'm going to have to use one of mine from next round. Just remember, we have 7 dice. All right. Before I roll my dice, I need to roll the starting point for these dice. All right, so 5 is where they start. So we're going to put the first one here, then there. So you can see they got some low numbers, but they also got some higher numbers. Oops. All right. Now, notice once you get around the board, you start doubling them up. So there we have 2 on the scrapyard that we'll have to get rid of. All right. So let's roll our 5 dice for defense. Okay. You can't see the dice I rolled. Let me try to move them over. Yeah, that's in the camera. Okay. So we have 2 1s. Let's change one of them to a 6. That's an easy choice for our ingenuity there. All right. So, but honestly, I think we're okay because we have a 12 here. 12, and then we have 21. Is that what that is? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20. Yeah, we barely can take them all out. Barely. Barely. We have done very well against the Raiders this game. It's not always this easy. Sometimes things just work out. And we've managed to keep the defense high. I've had games where I've struggled more to keep my defense high, and that has created, especially on some of the other scenarios where it's more important and it can be challenging. All right, but we did good. We knocked them out. All right. Thanks to the Lone Wanderer. All right, so done. Took them out. Advanced token. We're on our last round now. Boom. All right, let's do it. Generator resources. We have 2 because he gives us defense. We have 2 food there plus the trader, so that gives us 3 food. That's great. And then good old Francesca gives us 1 water as well as the well. And then shelter, right? Shelter goes up 1. We're generating pretty well. All right. I'll do it here. Okay. All right. We need a mishap. Let's go with... we can afford to get hit on what? Oh, no. I'm not going to overthink it. Food. Okay. This is our last round. We have to end the round with 6 in all of these. So, I'm just saying this. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I didn't do this. I didn't draw a card. Swords to plowshares. Sometimes food is more important than victory in battle. You may choose to perform the following once during phase 1. We can lose any amount of defense to gain the same amount as food, of food. All right. Good to know. And if we do that, then we can reduce the mishap by 1. Okay? So we'll keep that in mind. I mean, that can be handy. I mean, you can get rid of this food mishap, but it's not really causing us an issue right now. Okay. So we already did that. Next, let's see. Shall we just get the water? We definitely need shelter. Food. Yeah, just get face value this round, this phase. Boom, boom. Next phase. I didn't move that again. Okay. We're gonna have at least 6 people. So we're gonna need at least 6, and we have to have at least 4. So we're gonna need at least 6 extra. So that's something to consider. Let's go ahead and get the water we need right now because we rolled it. So that'll take us there. That's still not enough because 6 would be here, and that would cause us to lose. So we still need more water before we can win the game here this round. 2, oh yeah, we need food. You can see why the stress level starts going up here once we realize what we actually need to win this thing. Go ahead and take the 2 5s. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I didn't do a mishap, did I? We'll do the 6. The 2 5s are there, and the 6 is the mishap. Okay, before I get too far ahead of myself. That's where I make mistakes. All right, next. All right. 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. Lots of 3s. That's good, I guess. We don't have any 4s. Actually, no, yeah, we do. We have 4s right there. What we don't need is another 3. Let's make that one a 5 and get hit on, I'm sorry, that's not what I meant. That one. All right, so we're going to get 2 3s. That takes us 1, 2. We have 2 4s. That's going to bring us to level 6. And then a 1 and a 2. We officially have enough water to win, but nowhere close in food. Did I just mess this up? Maybe. Maybe that card can help us. Oh, crud. I think I may have overlooked food, and it might cause us to lose. But the game's not over yet. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Shoot. All right. We're good. We're good. We're good. Yes, because we don't have the mishaps. So these 3 are good. We can win as it is with those. We can win as it is with that. This is the issue. Plus, we don't know what 2 mishaps we're going to get next. If it's water and community, then it won't affect anything. But all right, so then, that being said, if it's water, then we're okay. Now I need food, and I didn't roll any food. Did I roll any defense? I did. So I'm going to take this defense. Then what is this special ability? Roll 3 dice or just choose something to be anything? We got to do the choose something to be anything. So let's go with the 5, and we'll make that a 2. Man, we still need like 6 more food. Oh, okay. 6 more food. I don't know. I guess we can do this next round and see what happens. But, you know what? Instead of choosing, we might have to do the 3 reroll and see what happens, right? Because we can't afford... Well, let's see if we get any 2s. I'm going to take that food back. Let's see if we get any 2s instead of choosing. Because I don't think we can win if we don't. Okay, well, we rolled 1. I mean, we did better. That's the same as what we just did. We can do some conversion, though. We didn't roll any 6s. I'm hoping to get more 6s so we can use this to give us what we need. We don't need water, right? We're good. So let's convert this 1 into a 2. Remember, you discard 1 to change 1 to anything. And then we'll do the same thing here. I'll discard this 3 to change this 4 into a 2. We're trying. We're trying. We're trying. This whole time you're probably thinking, this game is easy. Nope. It's not as easy as it looks. It creeps up on you if you're not strategizing carefully. If you're sleeping at the wheel, it will get you. And I've been sleeping at the wheel. 1, 1, 3, 4, 4, 3, 6. Okay. We can afford to get hit on the 4 for the mishap. Not a problem. See? We won't lose anything. Because we're barely there. Good, good, good. 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 We need a lot more food. Somehow. What we're going to do is re-roll our 1s. Keep the 6. That's actually good. We're going to re-roll the 1s, and really it doesn't matter, the 3s. Set these aside so I don't accidentally... Really? We just need 2s or 6s, right? That's all we need. 2s or 6s. We got 1, 2. Gosh. Can we win this? Actually, I think we can. I think we can. If we discard the 5, make this a 2, we still need 2 more, right? Because if we feed them 6, we're going to be below. So we need 2 more food to win this. And I'm not overlooking any mishaps. 2 more food, right? This 1 converts to a 2. I forgot about them, honestly, sitting there. All we need is 1 more. So let's use this card that I laughed at. Was it this one I laughed at? I think it was this one I laughed at. And I laughed at it, but it's going to cause us to win. Hopefully. Well, we haven't had the Raider yet. Oh, gosh. Okay, well, so far we've done well with the Raiders. All right, here's what I'm going to do. We don't need... Well, the Raiders might hit the defense. I better not get overconfident. They might also hit food. All right, I'm going to lose 2. We can afford to lose 1 defense. I'll use this card to lose 2 of those, to gain 2 of these, and it reduces mishap, but I don't think it's going to matter at this point in the game. All right. Now it's kind of down to, well, I got to admit, this is down to some luck here because we're going to have to see what happens. All right, let's see if I overlooked anything. All right, no mishaps that actually cause damage. That's good. We consume our water and food. So this is going to be 6 and 6. We're still in 4s, right? Okay, we're good. Now, shelter. We're going to add 2 more buildings. I mean, the game's over, but we may as well add them, right? Let's build those 2. Then, dice. We're going to have 8 dice next round, but there is no next round, so it's meaningless. These 5 and 6 are the same level, so the defense stays good. And now, here is the clincher. This is going to determine everything. We have 8 Raiders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Raiders. Okay. All right, you can't see those dice, but I'll move them over in a minute. They're kind of a combination. 1s and 4s and 6s and 3s. And all right, 1 is what I rolled for the starting place. So I'm going to put them on here. Starts there. Next one up is another 1. Then a 2. Oh, this isn't so bad, right? 2, 3, 4, 4, 6. All right. It could be worse. And we do get 3 dice reroll or a choice. We have 6 dice we can roll for defense. I'll roll them here so you can see. Oh, no. Look at that bad roll. Well, we've got a 3 we can re-roll, right? I think we should do that with these 3. Odds of beating a 1, 1, and a 2 are pretty high, right? All right, we did it. We did it. Oops, that was a 2. That was a 2. All right. Can we do it? We have a 6 and a 6. That's a 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Consistently rolling right around that amount, isn't it? Here we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So the only thing that gets hit is one of the ones. We can take out everything else. Okay. We actually did really well, folks. We did really well. This game has gone really well. We've just had some luck, I suppose, with the raider attacks maybe a little bit. I usually get hit a little more than that. But I also did get the Lone Wanderer, and I focused on defense properly. So it just kind of worked out, I guess. So we're going to take everything out except for one of the ones. So let's do that. We're not going to count our eggs before they hatch, right? Count our chickens before they hatch, I guess that's how it goes. So we need one of the ones. Which one are we going to leave? Can we afford to lose water? No. We cannot afford to lose water. That goes. Can we afford to lose an ingenuity? Yes. Barely. Barely. I mean, folks, look. Look. Okay, look at where we stand in this so-called easy game. Look where we stand. We have barely 4 water. 1 extra that we needed in food. Only 1 extra. We have plenty of shelter. That wasn't a problem this game. Barely enough people. Barely enough ingenuity. And only 1 extra defense. So it's pretty tight. I mean, and we did get a little bit lucky with the Raiders, perhaps. I don't know. I mean, it was still a good combination of dice between what we rolled and what the Raiders rolled. So is there a lot of luck involved? Of course, we're dealing with dice and cards here, but there aren't that many cards. So it's really more, most of the luck comes from your dice that you're rolling. The cards is more like just managing what's there. But the great thing I liked when I played is that I really like that I can change a die to whatever I need. That's what won it for us. If we couldn't have done that, there's no way we could have gotten the food we needed. If we hadn't had this card to where we could convert defense into food, we only needed 2. We only converted 2, and that still allowed us to win the game. So combination of getting some die rolls, but there's so many dice, and the more dice you roll statistically, the less luck it kind of is in some ways, the less random it kind of is the way I understand the statistics. So since we're rolling so many dice, I think it pans out pretty well. So good. Congratulations. We won the game, and only barely. We built our balanced settlement, we fought off the raiders, and we won. Now, what are some of the other things we could have done? Well, first let me show you some of the other events we could have had. We could have had rats in our cellar. We could have had, we could have installed indoor plumbing by sacrificing some water. The blazing sun got really hot, and so we would have had to gather water to prevent losing people. The broken water pump, the rescue mission where we had to go and rescue some people from an old abandoned supermarket and gather food. There's a nuclear dump where there was some barrels of leaking nuclear waste that we had to deal with. So got some stuff going on there. Now, what about the scenarios? There were some other scenarios. There was balanced settlement. That's the beginner one, right? And the generic one, so to speak, quote unquote. But what else do we have? All right, well, let me show you some of these. So we have, let's do the basic ones first here. All right, so we have Commando. The raiders have equipped themselves better and are attacking you in greater strength. They want to destroy your town, but they'll have to come through you to do it. So you're that one person that has to defend the Rambo, so to speak, okay? All right, so there you go. That's the Commando. You have to have a level 8 defense to win the game. Well, that's not hard. All you had to do is get 2 more, and you don't have to focus on all this as much. Yeah, but during the Raider attack step, when the Raiders are attacking, all of their dice values are increased by 1 to a maximum of 6, and all of the damage they hit is times 2. So yeah, you only have to focus on your defense, but you're feeling like you're fighting alone because you have to fight. They're so much stronger. So that's Commando. Then you've got Water Tower. This one's cool because you're trying to build a water tower as you go throughout the game. And so in round 1, you have to discard these resources to build the first level. Round 2, you have to build these. And you have to do it in that round. And if you don't achieve that in a particular round, you lose the game. Okay? And you have to end with 5 plus water. And you saw how hard it is to end with a lot of water. So you might have to sacrifice some, I don't want to say sacrifice people, but you know what I mean? You might have to recruit fewer people along the way or manage the people better so that they're not consuming so much water. But that means you have less dice. So there's a lot of things going on there. Then we have the Center for Apocalyptic Science, where you have to end the game here, but similar to the Commando. At the end of every, well, not similar to Commando, actually. This one, you're having to discard these resources to make new discoveries. So it's kind of challenging. You're having to discard 2 ingenuity every round automatically. So it's getting level A is not as easy as it looks because you're trying to build this research center. Contagion. This is where it's a wasting sickness is hitting, and basically instead of gaining people every round, you add an encounter cube to this card. Now, if you're playing the print and play, you can simply mark on the card or whatnot. These are not essential. It's really, these only just keep track of how many you have. I mean, if you wanted to grab a little, coins or something to just set on there. But it's the same deal. But in the board game, you get these to just put on there. But basically, you're just, every time you gain a person, you're going to mark that. Then at the end of the round, you'll discard 1 cube from the card. Somebody didn't make it. And then gain a community member for each one that's left. So basically, you're not getting your people that you collect throughout the round until the end of the round. And even then, only one of them is not going to make it, right? Finally, you have Grizzled Veteran, which you've survived the brutal wasteland and can't everybody just leave you alone. Okay, it's a get off my lawn scenario, all right? And you have to end the game with those things. Notice you have to end with no people. A level 1. So that can be, now that doesn't mean you can't have higher than that during the game. You just can't end the game with anything more than that. So some interesting scenarios to play once you've mastered the balancing settlement. So I hope you've enjoyed the playthrough. I hope that helped you understand how the game works. If you were trying to learn it, I hope that helped you learn it better. If you were missing any rules or something, I hope that helped clarify things. If you haven't tried the game or anything, I highly recommend you. I'd love it if you'd go and give it a try. You can get it on the Humble Bard website. It's thehumblebard.com, and that's for the Humble Bard Games website. Or you can get the print and play through there, or you can go to thegamecrafter.com and get the physical board game version. So hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much.